Welcome back to Burn Peak. I'm Seth, and today we're gonna be doing something a little different, but kind of the same. We're gonna be doing life hacks, not bike hacks. I'm saving those up for another video, but we're gonna be doing life hacks I actually use here and there in the shop and around the garage. So with that, let's get started. So many of you use your garage to work on things, to do projects. I know I do, and sometimes you wanna get those projects on video. So I'm gonna show you how to get one of the coolest shots, the overhead shot, without building some kind of archway or rig to do it. The garage door is how I get most of the overhead shots that you've seen in my videos, and I do it with a GoPro and one of these little mounts. So we're just gonna get up here and mount this little sticky, and now you're gonna get your GoPro up there so that it's pointed directly out. Start recording, and then open the garage door. And now you have a perfect overhead shot. So while we're talking about GoPros, I find it really frustrating getting the SD card out of my GoPro. See, it's kind of wedged in here, and unless you have really long fingernails, which most of us don't, you're just kind of pushing at it and you can't get it out unless you remove the battery. And if you remove the battery, you lose all your time and date settings, which is also frustrating. So I've got a hack. Almost every year of GoPro has some kind of a compartment with a door that you can take off. And you can use that door to pop the SD card out. So here on my Hero 8, you can just pop off the door to the battery compartment, and you can push your SD card in and pop it out. So that one I got from Eric Porter. It's not really a garage hack, but I use it in my garage pretty much every single time I use a GoPro. So this is where we keep our trash and recyclables, and I don't like to spend any more time on it than I have to. So I'm gonna show you how you can change your garbage bag way quicker. And I learned this from years of working places where you have to take out the garbage. So obviously you gotta tie it up, pull it out, and now, okay, where are we gonna get the replacement bag from? This roll of garbage bags was sitting right at the bottom, and it's not messy, it's not filled with garbage water because there was a barrier, the bag itself. So you put that at the bottom, and then when you change the bag, you put the next bag right on top of your bag inventory. So lately I've been recovering from a series of injuries, and different parts of my body get really tight and I gotta loosen them up. In general, I find that these percussive massagers work really well, especially on your thigh or your calf or anywhere that's tight, but they're crazy expensive, and I don't know how they get away with charging so much because you have something right in your shop that you can use instead, your Jigsaw. In a Jigsaw, you pretty much have everything you have in one of these little massagers except for the tip, and you can get those on Amazon for a couple bucks. So I should hope it's obvious. Take the blade out of the Jigsaw, put one of these guys in. They sell you a whole set for like $5 shipped. Just plug it in. And if it's a variable speed Jigsaw like mine, you could just go easy, or you could really let her rip. I know this is more of a weird product than a hack, but a lot of people don't know about it. It works really well, and you can get an entire Jigsaw and one of these for like 30 bucks, so pretty good trick. So I'm down here on the ground because I am looking for a little screw that I lost. And if you work on bicycles or cars or anything, you know the frustration of dropping some kind of a part on the ground and it disappearing into a vast abyss. What you're gonna do is take a flashlight and shine it horizontally along the ground. As you move it back and forth, the light beam is gonna catch any little metal parts that are on the ground if you hold it at this angle. And it's all about keeping the flashlight as close to the ground as possible, and it's gonna cast shadows and catch little pieces of metal. So when I hopelessly lose something in the shop and start threatening to buy a new one, I usually bust out the light trick as a last resort. So if you have a garage, you probably have one of these transmitters to open the actual garage door. You might even have a car that has a transmitter too. And when I used to work in 12 volt, people would come in saying their transmitter was out of battery and that changing it wasn't fixing it. Sometimes a little red light would just stay on. Sometimes you push the button and nothing would happen. And 9 out of 10 times, the fix for it was with a toothbrush. Now, when you take the transmitter apart, you're gonna see there's a little circuit board, and most of them look about the same. One side has all the buttons on it, the other side just got circuitry. You take the toothbrush, give it a good brisk brush, get any gunk off of it. Put the battery back in, it'll usually work. What happens is over time, sometimes water gets in, sometimes dirt gets in, and it'll gunk up the board and actually create short circuits. So if cleaning up with a toothbrush doesn't work, sometimes you can add a little bit of alcohol just so you have a little solvent to get it loose, but that's it. There are people who know how to do all sorts of fancy knots with rope, and that's not my thing. My brain actually gets tied in a knot when I see that. So anything I do with a rope is super simple. So I'm gonna show you how to store a rope, or how I store a rope, so that it's not all over the place in a big pile. So first you coil it up. You can coil it up like this, or if you're not comfortable with that, you can wrap it around your arm. And then when you get close to the end, you start wrapping it around. And then on the last wrap, you pass it through here, move your little coil to the end, and now you got a nice little pile of rope that's not gonna come apart. You can throw it down, you can throw it in a drawer, the back of your bed, whatever. So a lot of people are gonna say, how could you not know that trick? Oh, I see messed up piles of rope everywhere. There's plenty of people who don't know that trick, so don't say that. These days, so many of the things we use run on batteries, and in the case of power tools and cameras and things like that, you have a replaceable battery that can go on a charger. I prefer to use a charging station so that I can keep track of everything, keep it quick. But sometimes you can't keep track of which batteries are charged and which batteries are dead. Here's how I do it. Okay, so over here we have 2 batteries charging, and over here we have a battery that's fully charged. So I'm gonna take the fully charged battery out. I'm just gonna throw it down. We know it's charged now because it's laying down. This battery, which is dead, just came out of the camera. I'm gonna stand it up. So by my charging station, if you see anything standing up, this is gonna go in to be charged. Now we do this with GoPro batteries, camera batteries, drill batteries. We use it for everything, and everybody who works in this shop knows that that's how it is. And so we're never confused about which battery is charged, which one isn't. All that inefficiency is gone. Really simple, and you can do it in any shop or workspace. So for this next hack, I purchased a 12-foot 2x4 just to show you. When you come out of the home improvement store and you have some lumber that's too long for your bed and it sticks out, you're supposed to put one of these flags on it, but I always go all the way to the car with the nail and the flag and I forget to hammer it in, and of course I don't have a hammer. So if you have a bed, you probably have one of these, trailer hitch. Pull it out, now you got yourself a hammer. At this point, I don't even keep a hammer around because I know I have a trailer hitch to fall back on. And that's it, that's the whole hack. So this next one, I cannot stress how much this is not a tutorial. This is just what I do. This is what I've been doing since I was a little kid. You grab a 9-volt battery, you don't know whether it's good or not. Maybe you took it out of a remote or something. You put it on your tongue. And you can tell the difference between a dead 9-volt and a juiced up 9-volt. This one's brand new for sure, I can feel it. It's not gonna harm you, it's really not. The worst that's gonna happen is it's gonna feel unpleasant. Just don't do it with any other batteries. Don't do it with your car battery, don't do it with your leaf blower battery or your drill battery. Just these little guys right here, it's not gonna harm you. Battery tester might be a good idea, but yeah, 9-volt battery on the tongue to tell if it's good. Ugh. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that. 10 hacks I actually used. This video wasn't meant to be useful to everybody. These are just hacks that I use, and I'm just kind of relaying that information to you. But if you found it interesting or funny or entertaining, please consider subscribing for more content like this. Share it with a friend, and thanks for riding with me today. I'll see you next time.